how to promote your podcast right now so you get more listeners for every episode coming up. Hey everyone, Marc Guberti from Breakthrough Success, where we interview achievers and share with you how you can achieve your goals. Now, if you want more podcasting tips and tricks, I definitely recommend you hit the subscribe button and click the bell so you can get more notifications each time we come out with new content. And also, if you are a podcaster, let us know in the comments. Just say, yes, I am a podcaster, and even drop the name of your show as well. I just ask that you do not include a link to your show in the comments because YouTube may mark it as spam. But if you are a podcaster and you have a podcast, definitely let us know in the comments. So podcasting is such a great opportunity, but people wonder, how do we get more downloads? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. 3 different tactics to promote your podcast so it's going to get a lot more visibility. Strategy number 1 is to do outreach. And outreach means getting more people on your show and having a database of people who you can reach out to for each episode. So the getting people on your show is a little simpler to explain. Basically, you reach out to people who would be a good fit. Maybe they've been a guest on other podcasts. Maybe you've seen them write a guest blog somewhere else or do a YouTube channel, or you want to reach out to me. So you reach out to a bunch of people who you feel like would be a great fit for your show. And then when the episode goes up, you email them. But outreach also means having a database of people who you can regularly contact. So a lot of people immediately think like email lists, like, start one on MailChimp, get your first 2,000 subscribers free. Right now I use ConvertKit, but a lot of people think email lists. And while this is certainly a great way to boost your show and get more exposure, you should start to pay attention to people who pay more attention to you. So one of the things that you may want to do is create a customer list of people who have bought your past products and categorize like what those products are. So I have a bunch of virtual summits: Content Marketing Success Summit, Wealthy Author Summit, Profitable Podcasting Summit, and a few others. And if I publish a podcast episode related to one of those, like let's say it's an episode about podcasting, I will reach out to some of the people who bought the Profitable Podcasting Summit All Access Pass and say, I just came out with this episode, I thought it might interest you. So you're also building a relationship with existing customers, and not in a generic way. It's not like you're sending out one email that's going to be seen by dozens or hundreds or thousands of people, depending on the size of your email list. It's a very personalized email saying, I know you bought the All Access Pass from me. I came out with an episode about podcasting, so I think you might like this very much. So outreach isn't just about having guests on your show and having them promote, but it's also about tapping into your existing audience in a very powerful way and really like paying more attention to the people who are paying a lot of attention to you already. Strategy number 2 is collaborating. And for collaborating, you have someone on your show, but it could also be you being a guest on someone else's show. So if you are a guest on other people's podcasts, that's naturally going to help you when it comes to promoting, because at the beginning and at the end of each episode you are on as a guest, you can promote your podcast. And by having other guests on your show, not only do you have that ability to say, hey, our episode is live, can you share it? You also get that person into a listener, because some people, what they do is before they go on a podcast, they listen to past episodes. And if they like the way you interview them, they tend to come back for more. And collaborating could go well beyond podcasting. Like with virtual summits, you can interview people much like in a podcast format, and then you can promote the podcast to those individuals. You could also do YouTube lives with people. There are just so many different options for collaborating, but it's basically you and someone else working together to produce content and reaching each other's audiences. So if you like that tip on collaboration and you feel like you're going to do some things with it, definitely hit that like button to let me know. And finally, we have social media, which is something that when you hear the word promote, you automatically think social media. So we do have the tweet it, the Facebook, the put it on Pinterest, the post a picture of Instagram with your podcast. There are certainly different ways and different styles to do that, but I feel like what part of social media people are not looking at enough are stories, especially Instagram stories, because those are a place that is not receiving as much attention as just posting. So it's easier for you to appear in someone's feed for the Instagram story. And if someone's listening to your stories, then you're gonna get preferential treatment each time you publish a new story. So you're gonna appear like towards the beginning of towards the beginning of someone's feed for Instagram stories, while it may be much harder to do that the traditional route. So for an Instagram story, you can actually give people a link to share to listen to your podcast, and you don't even need 10,000 followers. You don't need swipe up or anything like that. All you do to get people from Instagram stories to click a link and listen to your show is share it with Spotify. And the benefit of sharing with Spotify is that they give you your artwork, they give you your episode title, all the stuff you already did, and they give you a link to have people go. So here's how this works. First, you go into the Spotify app and you choose the episode that you want to share on your Instagram story. You then proceed to, with all the options they give you, hit share, and you will see Instagram stories as one of the options. Now, they do give you a bunch of other options, messages, which could be really good for reaching out to friends, Messenger, and a bunch of different things. For this, we're going into Instagram stories. So once you hit that, Spotify will lead you to Instagram. You'll have a nice story up with your cover art for your show and the title of that episode. And then it's up to you what kind of text that you add. But to drive more attention to the fact that, hey, people can listen to Spotify, you have an up arrow that pretty much just says listen in or listen to your latest episode. So you are telling people that if they click on that thing that says play on Spotify, they're going to have the ability to listen to that episode. And the cool thing about this is you don't need 10,000 followers, you don't need swipe up, you automatically have this feature. And now all of your Instagram followers just see that one-click option where they go into Spotify. Since a lot of people on Instagram are on their mobile devices, a lot of them are going to have Spotify ready to roll and ready to be listening to your episode. And those are pretty much the 3 best ways to promote your podcast so they reach a ton of people. Now, if you guys want to learn how to launch, grow, and make money with your podcast, there are 2 different things you can do. One is schedule a free 20-minute strategy call with me. That link is down below. You can also check out the Profitable Podcasting Summit, where over 20 experts gather to share the best insights on how they launch, grow, and make money with their podcast. So you guys definitely have a few different options for being able to pursue this knowledge further, in addition to subscribing to this channel and hitting that notifications bell. So signing off, what I want you guys to do is to dream big, achieve greatness, and unlock your potential today.